Response to that obnoxious gay white knight from Mike.com. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and a few people directed me to this video that came out a few days ago, and I figured I should make one of my rare response videos because this guy is about the correct amount of something that somewhat resembles making sense if you don't analyze it pretty carefully, and then utter propaganda distracting from any of the real issues that the gay male community is facing. Let's take a look.
Misogyny is a real problem.
Sure, the random and irrational hatred of women, when it legitimately happens, is a real problem. And truthfully, I think it's growing, even in the gay male community where misogyny is generally very minimal. Gay men are starting to have more disdain for women as a whole because of the many mistakes of aggressive, assholey fourth-wave feminists, but also because of gay male feminists who keep defending feminism when they should be putting their foot down to these entitled women and saying, "Enough is enough. If you want to hang out with the gay boys, it's going to be on our terms and not yours, because we literally have no reason to have you around at all unless you're nice to us. You do not get to boss us around like you get to with the straight guys. Get over yourselves." But I'm guessing that's not what this guy's going to say in this video. I'm guessing he is going to try to shame me for not being a feminist. Let's proceed.
Listen up, queens, because if you suck dick and you're mean to girls, this one's for you.
I don't think gay guys should be mean to girls either. But by girls, I'm going to assume that you really mean feminists. At least deep down.
Making out with boys doesn't mean you're immune to being a tool of the patriarchy.
No, clearly nobody is immune to being a tool of the quote-unquote patriarchy if you actually believe in patriarchy theory, because it is a wacky conspiracy theory that makes no sense that can be applied to any given situation unless all you do is serve feminism. The only way to not be considered a tool of the patriarchy is to become somebody like this guy. And like I already mentioned, with guys like this guy around, more and more gay guys are just saying, fuck it, I'll just be a full-blown shitlord misogynist because I obviously can't win anyway. Fuck women.
Or just a tool.
Listen up, queen. If you want to throw empty stones at Milo, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to debate you if you think you're so smart. Seriously, he'd probably pay you to debate him. You game?
So how do we demean and ostracize women? Set foot in a gay bar on a busy Friday night. Whenever women enter sexualized space, dominated by gay men, someone is bound to get their dick in a twist. Oh my god, I didn't come here to get boob shoved in my face.
So you mean that there's spaces that are designed for members of a small minority who only date other members of said small minority, and when somebody enters into that space that is intended for this small minority to meet each other, which is an often rather small and crowded environment, the gay guys in the place aren't always stoked about somebody being there and taking up space? Interesting observation. Would you say the same thing about events organized for quote-unquote people of color if a white person went in? Would you call these racial minorities racist? So obviously it's a bit of an exaggeration to assume that any girl entering into a gay nightlife setting will shove their boobs in a guy's face. But it's not entirely an absurd proposition to mention such things at all, because women constantly touch gay men and invade our personal space at gay bars, which I can assume is what this obnoxious strawman character is referring to.
Look at this bitch! Does she even know she's in a gay bar?
I can assume the main thing wrong with this statement is the use of the word bitch, which automatically means he is supposedly a horrible misogynist. Though, again, there's straight girls that come to gay bars and don't realize it, or do realize that they are at a gay bar and they still think it's okay to grind on all the guys. Happens all the time.
No one likes a drunk bachelorette party coming to gawk at a gay bar. It is indeed possible for straight cisgender women to invade and objectify our spaces, and they do.
Thank you for admitting that. But I'm going to assume that you've never made an entire video dedicated to criticizing obnoxious women and all of the various other ways that obnoxious women are shitty to gay men.
But you don't get to claim the moral high ground if your gut reaction to a woman's presence is, ew, a vagina!
Okay, Would you tell lesbians that they are horrible misandrists for being annoyed by men coming into lesbian bars? I basically never go into lesbian bars unless I am with at least 3 women and I'm the only guy. And even then, I understand that some women will give me weird looks, and I accept that. They are allowed to have their spaces, and I don't demand full inclusion.
And let's say you love seeing straight girls at the bar. That's awesome, but remember that being a gay man doesn't mean you get to touch women without consent.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I knew it. This was just another excuse to spread the rumor around the internet that gay men supposedly are always grabbing boobies and slapping female asses. The horrible patriarchal sexual assault from gay men, whatever shall these fragile maidens do? I'm sure these poor women would never dream of saying, "What the hell, don't touch me, I don't even know you." But of course, that's the problem with this fantasy universe in which gay men supposedly grope women. 9 times out of 10, the women who say that this happened to them are either flat out lying or probably just referring to instances in which their gay friend touched them one time, usually after she had been touching her gay friend all night. But now that victimhood is all the rage and gay men are being relentlessly attacked by feminists, every feminist has a story about supposedly being groped by a gay man. As I have said in numerous videos, I have literally never heard a complaint about this that wasn't over the internet. And I have been taking women to gay bars for over 15 years. I'll repeat, gay men don't touch women at gay bars. They touch us.
Even if the intent isn't sexual, the idea that men are entitled to women's bodies is misogynist. Stick the fuck with me.
What the actual fuck are you talking about? There isn't a gay man alive that is thinking to himself that he is entitled to a woman's body. Gay men really don't care about women enough to even think about it consciously or subconsciously, which is probably why your entire opening skit was about how gay men don't want women around anyway. You obviously didn't write this video entirely by yourself as an observation you picked up on as a result of being around gay men for a long time, but rather, you're just trying to suck feminist dick. I am taking away your gay card. You are not allowed in any bar I go to.
Despite the fact that we all fall under this lovely little umbrella, the L's and the T's often get shortchanged in favor of the G's. How many lesbian bars do you know of in your city?
Are they shortchanged, or are there actually just a lot less lesbians than gay men statistically? Which is true. You can look into that. And also, do gay men tend to drink and party a lot more, so they are better at filling up a bar or a club and keeping it a profitable business? It sounds like you are blaming gay men for keeping venues open. But you don't hear gay men complaining that lesbians dominate slam poetry venues or whatever. Feminists use the fact that gay men have different priorities and therefore can keep a nightclub open as an excuse to try to exert power over gay male spaces, demanding some sort of representation because they can't keep their own bars open because they'd rather have potlucks and play with their cats. Fuck off.
When's the last time you were invited to an event by and for trans women?
Well, wouldn't the point of an event by and for trans women mean that gay men are not being invited? Not that I care, they are allowed to have trans women only parties and not invite me, but think about what you are saying.
Queer women often experience the same discrimination straight cis women do in gay-dominated spaces, but they're actually expected to share those spaces with gay men.
Okay, I can agree with you slightly here. There are some super cool lesbians that gay men are rude to, and I have been around that. The guys assumed that the girl was straight and then apologized when he realized that she was a lesbian. And that's because straight girls at gay bars are eternally annoying so often, whereas cool lesbians can be totally great. However, the caveat is definitely that they have to be cool lesbians. Many lesbians are rude as fuck to gay men in spaces that are more mixed, very commonly. Even when they are a severe minority. There can be like 5 girls in an entire bar and there's lesbians acting super hostile to all the men. It's crazy. Lesbians hate men about 10 times as much as gay men hate women, and everybody who has spent time around both groups knows that. So where's your video addressing that problem? Where's anybody's video addressing that misandry problem?
In a survey of about 3,000 queer women, over a third said they felt excluded at pride events. Some respondents said that the event seemed catered toward gay men, or that it was mostly organized by men with not a lot of lesbian influence.
Oh, boo fucking who. And did you do a survey of gay men and ask if they felt included at Pride events? I think that if you did, you'd find that a very large percentage of gay men feel that they don't fit in either because they are black or Asian or don't have a perfect body. Pride events are not exactly super welcoming places if you aren't a porn star, and just about everybody in the gay community talks about that too.
This is partly a result of skewed representation.
Again, that is because gay men are the vast majority of the attendees and they buy the most shit. But lesbians always complain about everything until they have their way. But then, even when they do have their way, they are still unhappy because lesbians are unfortunately often very unhappy people. Not all lesbians, of course, but my cool lesbian friends complain about the same things about the unhappy lesbians. It's a big problem.
Because of the privilege we experience as men, we're usually the first to be offered the mic when it comes to speaking for the queer community. So when you look at pictures of the Stonewall riots, or pride parades, or even the editorial staff at Out magazine, men are overwhelmingly placed at the center.
Wait, so it's just that the men are overrepresented in media rather than the fact that there's just more gay men? Why the hell do all the dyke bars keep closing then, genius? It's just a patriarchy media conspiracy that advertises men more? No, I'm thinking it's just that there are less dykes than gay men.
I've even been invited to events where women, cis or trans, were actively excluded. Men-only events are really common in the gay community, and that sucks.
Why? I don't go to girl-for-girl parties unless I have a very specific reason, like a birthday party or something for a friend. Why the hell are women entitled to be invited to every party?
Because if identifying as LGBTQ means existing outside the bounds of conventional gender expression, reinforcing those divisions based on rigid gender binary is pretty fucking heteronormative.
Okay, now is where I'm almost reconsidering my stance as a non-violent person. You're saying that I have to mix with more women all the time, or I am not LGBT enough for you? You're basically telling me that I'm kind of straight because I'm too gay? You are precisely why people say feminism seeks to erode and destroy the gay male community. You should be ashamed of yourself.
So how do we become more compassionate allies to the women in our lives?
Ally? Do we really need to use the word ally for all the women in our lives? Sorry, but I'm actually friends with women, and I certainly don't think of them as people I'm fighting a war with. But maybe that's because they aren't crazy feminists?
The first step is realizing the ways gay men glorify masculinity.
And we all knew it was going to come to this, the demonization of men for being attracted to men. This is how it works. 1, the feminists come and they say they want to be included. 2, the feminists demand gigs and nights catered to them. 3, the feminists demand more and more power in decision-making in whatever space they have colonized. 4, the feminists claim that anybody who disagrees with them about anything must be a misogynist, and they use their new power to censor and generally ruin those people who cross them. Those guys get nixed out of the gay scene because they're supposed to be misogynists. 5, the feminists start brainwashing femme-gay guys with lies that all homophobia is rooted in misogyny. That's a lie. 6, the feminists try to convince even non-femme gay men to show their feminine side, or else toxic masculinity. You don't want to be a toxic masculine. 7, the feminists demonize gay men for being attracted to masculine guys. That's the step we're at right now. 8, they tell the men that gender is just a social construct. 9, women eventually try to convert gay men away from being gay at all. Basically, by trying to get them to stick their penises in their vaginas, because feminists who colonize gay male spaces very often secretly want gay men to fuck them, even if they say they are lesbians. But they'll never admit to it. Still, trust me, I've seen it happen numerous times.
Glorify masculinity. Just whip it out. Take a look at any hookup app and you'll likely encounter the phrase mask for mask within seconds. It's the mating call of insecure gay bros looking for other DL or not obvious gay guys to have super gay sex with. Just, as long as they're not too gay about it.
Why, yes. A lot of the hottest sex I've had was with guys who were rather stereotypically masculine, and I have no shame in that. I fuck men, not women. Though truthfully, I also like it when guys make little girly noises when I'm fucking them. Kind of a thing. I just don't want them to look like a girl because I'm not straight. It's hot to make a masculine guy sound like a little bitch, what can I say?
But performing hypermasculinity while searching for that D speaks to a larger problem. The idea that masculinity is somehow more desirable or powerful than femininity.
Okay, we've just gotten to the point where you should have to know you sound ridiculous. What the hell are you even talking about? Are you going to make some reference to the power of Earth Mother Gaia or something?
Because we are taught women are weak and men are strong, we've been taught to disguise and reject the femininity within ourselves.
No. We've been taught that if you are a gay man, or a man at all, you get more mates who are attracted to men if you actually look and act like a fucking man. It takes a very rare specimen to be able to nimbly move between masculinity and femininity and still have it remain attractive. It requires massive amounts of self-confidence and usually very conventional good looks. Most of the guys who end up confident are naturally masculine, because otherwise they would have gotten picked on a lot and lost some of their confidence. Guys like me were actually popular in high school and college, so guys are attracted to my confidence even though I have a faggy voice. And I like my faggy voice. Fuck off. I'm still an exception to the rule.
But a feminine man is no less of a man. He's just not performing gender the way our culture expects him to, and while that makes straight people predictably uncomfortable, it's disappointing to see gay men buy into the same casual misogyny.
I would almost agree with you in that I don't think gay men should demonize femme gay guys, but it's not misogyny to not be attracted to a femme guy. Trust me, if he was hot enough, guys wouldn't have a problem with his femininity. What they are usually not attracted to is his lack of confidence. Half the time that guys are super queeny is because they are majorly insecure, and I can tell you exactly why that is. A lot of gay men learn early on that they can avoid being picked on super bad by straight guys if they feminize themselves to a severe degree. This is not all femme guys. Some guys are just naturally very femme, and a lot of them are very brave. But a lot of guys are doing it to avoid being picked on. Once a guy is so femme that he almost seems like a girl, a lot of guys will leave him alone because they don't like to beat up girls. But that's just in school. And it doesn't entirely work because there will always be a stray bully. That guy, no matter how femme he is, likely some guy will want to pick on him. But femme gay guys have an easy time making friends with popular girls in high school because it's usually cool to have a token gay friend to go shopping with. So femme guys tend to pair up with the popular girls because once you are down with the popular girls, the straight guys can't mess with you. However, in gay adult reality, gay men also feminize themselves a lot of the time because it makes other gay men more comfortable to be around them. It's easy to bond about faggy-ass shit with other gay guys without worrying about who might have a crush on who when you act super queeny. It's a defense mechanism for insecure guys with a lot of anxiety to act girly. And that's fine. I actually do it sometimes too. But a lot of these guys know that they have to butch it up a little bit to get laid, which is why almost all of them make serious faces on their hookup profile pictures.
That personal rejection of the feminine manifests in harmful ways. It's harmful to our straight female allies. It's harmful to queer women.
Oh, up yours, you fucking cuck. Again, I knew it. This all comes back around to be a little infomercial for how gay men should best serve women. Go to fucking hell. How is gay men preferring masculine men harmful to the women in their lives that you insist on calling allies? Did not enough people vote for Hillary Clinton because of what gay guys put on their Grindr profiles?
It's harmful to queer women.
How?
And it's harmful to young queer men, feeling awkward and undesirable in their own bodies.
Okay, that's true. It can be hard on young guys when they realize that older gay guys are attracted to masculine guys, especially if they are finding themselves acting girly to be non-threatening in high school or whatever, so they don't get picked on by the jocks, sure. But at the same time, it will give them a reason to grow up. I know I look a lot more masculine now at 34 than I did at 16. It's called growing up.
So fuck being a mask, bro. Fuck going to men-only parties, and fuck being that dude who loves drag queens but not women.
Okay, Mr. Bearded Gay Man with a baseball cap and plaid shirt, Does anybody believe you actually follow these rules personally? You've spent this entire video speaking like a basically masculine dude, except for the parts at the beginning when you are imitating those queenie gay guys you hate so much. So why the hell are we supposed to believe that you are as committed to femininity as you claim to be? Fuck off.
Make it a point to share some love with the cis and trans ladies, gender non-conforming trans femmes, and sissy gay boys in your life. We owe women and ourselves better.
Okay, I can agree with that, but that's clearly not what you want. You want us to stop throwing parties designed for men. You want to perpetuate a myth that gay men frequently touch women without their consent and not the other way around like what really happens. You want to police what people put on their hookup profiles, and you want to feminize gay men to suit some weird creepy agenda that you don't even follow yourself. Unless, of course, you're making fun of an obnoxious faggot straw man that is supposedly part of the problem, even though he acts more queenie than you do. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll stick to the leather bars. Drop me a comment and stay tuned.